All right, here we go. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Saturday morning, so you know it's time for another live edition of the Extra Point. We got Michigan Mike in the house. We got Tasha T. Sizzle in the house. How goes it today, gang? That wasn't rhetorical. Somebody can answer that. Y'all can't hear
No,
me?
I'm just playing. No, I'm just just playing.
Really, Mike?
Yeah, it goes good.
Tasha, how's it going down in the DR?
It goes. It goes.
Y'all, okay, all right. Let's get started. All right. All right, we're going to kick today's show off today and land over Maryland, where the third-ranked Michigan Wolverines are looking to avoid the dreaded trap game and keep their championship hopes alive when they take on the Maryland Terrapins. This will be Jim Harbaugh's second straight absence due to suspension and fifth game of the year that he's going to miss due to suspension because Michigan elected to forego an injunction hearing and decided to accept the Big Ten's 3-game suspension. Tasha T. Sizzle, do you agree with the university's decision to drop the fight and accept the charges levied against them?
Yeah, because as Dave Chappelle said, Beretta did that ish. So why are you sitting up here fighting? Remember, I tell you this all the time. The crime is in the cover-up. Take them 3 games. Don't be trying to go. Let me go to court so I can coach these. Just let it ride. Let it go. Now you got the NCAA digging in. They done found some extra stuff. Just
Right.
let it go, man.
Right. When I saw the reasoning behind why they recently fired their linebackers coach and why they decided to do an about face, it made me think back to earlier this season. It's just like, wow, my goodness, the arrogance of thumbing your nose up to the NCAA with the first suspension and saying, no, we're not going to take that. We're going to impose our own suspension. And when you double cross somebody like that and do it publicly, they're going to come back for heat. Like we always talk about in Minister Society. If Kane hadn't stomped out that girl's cousin, he would have made it to Atlanta.
Would have been in Atlanta with Jada.
He would have been in Atlanta with Jada. But he just had to stomp that dude out and prove a point. And dude came back with the heat. And he said in his dying last words on that movie, my grandparents asked me if I wanted to live or die. I guess I want to live, but now it's too late. And scene. So now it's like, okay, all right, I get that. Mike, now on the field when Harbaugh was absent last week, you wouldn't have actually known it by watching the game itself against Penn State because it looked like a Harbaugh ran operation from beginning to end. Give me your thoughts on how the team played against Penn State last week.
Yeah, I mean, to start off the first half, played them really well. I think we got to know their blitz game and their D line and their front seven were superb. I will say they definitely lived up to the hype when it came to that aspect. It was hard for JJ to get a groove going. I mean, you see him there getting 10-yard gain. But other than that, they were coming for him. And I think at one point he even got tackled and he started limping off the field. I was like, coming up this second half, I think that's when the magic happened, right? That's when we were like, okay, let's go ahead and run 32 straight run plays and to finish out this game. That's how confident they were, and they definitely wanted to send a statement. So that was pretty wild.
Tasha Sharon Moore made national headlines, with his tearful, exuberant interview, and basically like this one's for you, Coach. But you weren't quite as sold on the performance as most Michigan fans. Am I correct in that assessment?
Yeah, I have not been impressed with their performance all season. I enjoy the W's, in the win column, but I'm not impressed with the way that they're looking because Penn State was technically still in that game had they not fumbled. That gave us great field position, and Blake Corn ran it in for a touchdown. But it was still a close game that late in the game. So, I mean, I'm just not impressed with how they're looking. I just thought I don't know. I'm expecting more. Like I want to see an onslaught. Not saying it's the Spurrier era Florida Gators when they scoring, it's what 50-12. But I mean, I'm just expecting more. And I'm not impressed by what's going on.
James Franklin, to your
But you
point.
were in. I
Go
was
ahead,
going to say,
Mike.
but you were impressed with Ohio beating Penn State.
Yes. Yep. I sure was.
How and why?
Because I said I was. I like the way they looked.
Okay.
I like the way that they looked against Penn State. They looked
So
better.
an 8-point win is better than a 9-point win,
I didn't
especially
say
when you're throwing the
See,
ball.
there you go with trying to throw out stats. Stats don't matter. They looked better than we did. Point blank, period.
Point blank, period. Good morning, AP Culture. Glad you caught us at the top of the show. Looks like there's some hot sauce in the coffee this morning in the May James coffee. Make sure you go out and support. Now, one thing that I think that that hasn't really been broached as far as the Penn State game as we transition to the Maryland game this week was the fact that James Franklin had some fireable offenses as far as his coaching decisions late in that game.
When you're down, the whole 15, game was fireable.
Yeah, when you're down 15 points and you need 2 scores to win, you don't chase the points on the first touchdown. You go for the 7, and then you chase the 8 points on the next go round because missing that 2-point conversion made it a 9-point game with like 7 minutes left to go. So now you need another score again. I thought that was an egregious miscalculation on the part of James Franklin. And also, with the defense that was playing as solid as they were, you go for it on 4th and 6 on your own 35-yard line when you had plenty of time to kick the ball, maybe get stops. You had timeouts left to get the ball back. So I'm going to give him a game ball as well as a Michigan fan to Coach Franklin. Good morning, Shamika Nicole.
That was desperation at that point. I mean, I think he was out of all the tricks in his bag and was like,
Yeah.
Well, even the play call, like what pass play was that? There was nobody within 5-6 yards of the ball. Like it was just bad.
Now, Mike, I want to go back to something that you said earlier because we'll get hot and heavy into this topic next week when we prepare for the game. But early in that game against Penn State, the pressure, especially coming off the right side of the offensive line, seemed to be bothering Michigan and bothering McCarthy specifically. Do you think that's going to be the blueprint going forward against Maryland today and next week against Ohio?
I hope it is for today, just so that Michigan can practice against it. But, I mean, if you look back at the previous games, even Michigan State was getting pressure, and JJ did a good job of stepping up and making the play. So, if you look at the whole Michigan State game, actually, that's all they were doing. I do say that Penn State was doing more twists, so it's not just off the edge; it's more on the inside. That's why he had to like run to the left or try to get away. I hope that that Maryland does come up with the fire, just so we can get a good practice in.
Yeah, I just don't think a lot of people thought Penn State was going to come out and actually play. I don't know if they thought they were going to roll over, which is why I said no. It's not going to be a blowout. It's going to be a close game because that defense, I haven't seen that defense play that well against, a good opponent. With the run plays, that just reeked of Harbaugh because that's petty, and y'all know he's the petty prince right about now. I love that towards the end of the game, but just, like Mike was saying, it was actually good that did happen. Hope Maryland tries to do that too, so we will know how to, not defend, but I mean, it's on the
offense. Have a counterpunch.
Yeah, how to do against it, and just in case the FIs try to pull that same thing.
Now, we want to take a second out to send a shout out. Good morning, Mr. Langston Moore. Good morning. You know it's so hard to be a Firebird. Coach Todd to win this coach in Metro. Pearl Cone advances. Keep on beating that arse. Hey,
way to go, Langston.
Yeah, them Firebirds. Tasha, hit me with the Firebird real quick. All right. Do the Firebird. Shouts out to North Nashville and the pride of North Nashville, the Pearl Cone Firebirds. Excited about that. Now, they're one of the top-ranked teams in the state of Tennessee as far as football, and we have a new college football ranking that came out on Tuesday. And looky, Tasha, look who's back atop the rankings. We got the Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia leaping Ohio State for the number 1 spot. Is that fair or foul in your opinion, Tasha?
I mean, it's fair given the conference that they're in. I've been saying this for years. I mean, they did whoop a corn up on. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, but those. I think the committee is holding those SEC victories higher. They're ranking those higher, regardless of the level of play. Like how they were still number 2 after they beat Florida, and Florida is, they're not good this year.
Right.
But I think it's fair.
Now, Mike, do you think it's fair or foul that Georgia jumped Ohio State for the number 1 spot?
Yeah, I mean, because Ole Miss is actually, I think the higher rankings that Georgia's playing is at the end of the schedule, as opposed to Ohio playing high rankings at the beginning. And now people are like, oh, Notre Dame's actually not that great. And Penn State has 2 losses now. So, I mean, they have a number 12. I think it should be lower, but that's here nor there. I think that's the reason why.
Yeah, Marcus says it's fair, and we're looking towards a huge game in 2 weeks between Georgia and Alabama for the SEC championship. I'm going to say fair as well because they have their star receiver Brock Bowers, receiver/tight end Brock Bowers back, and it looks like that they're getting better each week as we crescendo towards the championship games instead of regressing like some teams do this time of year. Now, AP Coach said she's got some smoke for y'all Michigan fans. She said, wait a minute, don't come for Coach Franklin this early in the morning. He was under a whole lot of eyeball pressure. I told y'all last week it was going to be a close game slug fest. That she did. That she said.
Mama Coulter and that's what we said it was going to be.
He needs to be let go. He needs to be let go. What is he? 3-18 against top 10 teams? Like, go ahead. Go on.
He needs to be let go. Well, okay, Mike, in fairness, when Harbaugh was 0-5 against Ohio State, did you call for his job?
No,
that's 0-5.
Right.
Not 3-18.
1-6 in bowl games. Did you call for his job?
I said we got to give him at least 4 years. That's what I said.
But losing to them got Lloyd Carr fired. Good for the goose, good for the gander.
Look, and Brady Hoke had a win against Ohio State as well. But no, I'm just saying.
Hey, he retired recently.
He was 0-5 against Ohio. Me and Tasha wanted to send that ass home, and you wanted to keep him on board. So I think we should offer some grace.
I said give him 4 years.
Franklin.
Jason Franklin's had more than 4 years, so time to go.
But for them, you're not going to ever replace somebody like.
Wasn't at this level in 4 years,
right? You're not going to replace somebody like Joe Paterno, and I mean that's going to always be the standard when you're in Happy Valley. Is Joe Paterno? They were not relevant until Franklin got there, because if they were, they wouldn't have hired somebody like Franklin from Vanderbilt. So, I mean, he's doing basically all he can. He's not going to beat the Michigans. He's not going to beat the FIs. So that they're always going to be basically a 2-loss team.
And now I mean, yes, I agree with that. And now you have better teams coming into the Big Ten. So it's like, okay, well, is he going to be able to beat a good USC and Oregon, Washington?
Better against their competition. They have not played Big Ten football, and we are not going to lower our level of play to Pac-12.
Pac-12. I agree. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The big question is, can Penn State's offense hold up or our defense hold up with those teams that are coming in? Because if they can't, then they're done.
I think so.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. The one thing that I don't want to get lost on the whole Franklin hire was the fact of why he was hired, because of the Sandusky scandal and where that program was at the point where he took over the program. The fact that there, in Tasha's word, even some count at all is a huge testament to Coach James Franklin and how he was able to turn that into a top 10 program. They've been in a couple of Rose Bowls. If you're Penn State, that's pretty much all you can ask for, because Michigan and Ohio State is the class of that conference. There won't be a Bo Nix, there won't be a Michael Penix, and it may not be a Caleb Williams. We'll get to him in just a moment, coming into the Big Ten next year. So it's going to be interesting, but it's going to be a lot tougher for all of the Big Ten coaches, including Ryan Day and Harbaugh, when they get the best that the Pac-12 has to offer when they come in. Now Langston chimes in. He says Franklin has restored character to PSU after the scandal. That has given him a longer leash concerning what Mike is talking about. And it has, but at some point, that leash has got to run out. And we'll see if your only 2 losses are to Michigan and Ohio State, is that good enough for you at Penn State, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, that's the question, right? Like, is Penn State okay with being the third best team in the conference for right now, or the fourth best? You know, like, at what point do you say, okay, well, now we kind of want to go into a playoff scenario? Like, at what point?
Mama throwing shots this morning. She said, watch it, Michigan. Mike Harbaugh was calling that game. We made a joke in the chat about him being on the next tail out there at the hotel.
I mean, they say he couldn't be on the sideline. They didn't say anything about communication. So.
Oh, and one other thing we want to give AP Coach some roses on before we move on. She said when the scandal first broke out that it was an inside job, and Lord knows who knew Uncle T was behind this whole scandal of booster at Michigan. AP Coach, you get a standing ovation.
I sent you the photo when they said Uncle T. I said they talking about Tom Brady, but then I really went out and found the real Uncle T. But to Langston's point, you can't say. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'm saying to Langston's point about Penn State being in scandal. I mean, Franklin left scandal when he left, so. Now I ain't heard that, Jarrell.
Yeah, that's true. James Franklin is moving. I haven't either, but Jarrell just led us into our next topic. Now, as you all well know, last Sunday, Texas A&M said, you know what, I done had enough of this. They told Jimbo to pack up his jumbo and beat it. As a matter of fact, they paid this man $76 million to stay away from the campus. Can you imagine if your job wanted you gone so bad that they would be offered to pay your salary for the rest of the year for you to skedaddle? That is somewhere. Sumlin is like, this cigar is mighty tasty. Now, first of all, shout out to our producer because this is the perfect picture for a man that looked like he just came off a Hennessy binge.
Yeah, he's just like, man,
he was out bear hunting or something when they gave him the news. He was like, eh.
Yeah, okay. So, anyways,
Tasha, it wasn't a booty bandit scandal. Stop it, Langston. You stop it. It's too early.
I mean, technically it was, but
technically it really was. If you go to if you got Showtime, they still got that scandal up, and we know Joe Paul was like, not my kid, but I can understand Joe Paul. Let's just put a ball on this. Joe Paul old school, that kind of stuff. He came up in the era to where if your child get pregnant, you send her off to Virginia to have the baby, and you bring her back nice and slim and babyless. So. Right. Covering up scandal inside the family and outside the family was just the way it goes.
But no, he was talking about Vanderbilt not being in a booty scandal. But it kind of was. That's
true, but when they innocent, didn't they go on Oprah and they were innocent? Or was it another school?
No, that had to be another school because Beretta did.
The guy and the girlfriend was together and they got rid of the. I digress. Let's go to Jimbo. Tasha. Is the Texas A&M job a good job, a great job, an elite job? What kind of job is this?
It's a good job. It's gonna get you paid. Because you ain't gonna win nothing. I mean, I always joke and call Jeff Fisher old 50-50. They've been old Jeff Fisher for the last 10, 15 years or so. They've only had a few years where they've won more than I would say accountable 8 games. That is their average. Is an 8-game win total.
Yeah. So, Johnny Manziel year was the outlier.
Right. They're just an average program overall. They've always been an average program overall.
Mike, are you going to even give this a good job title? Because you look like you were shaking your face that it ain't even a good job.
No, I would compare this to exactly what the Penn State job is. So it's a good segue that you put it on there. It was like Penn State and then the Aggies, because that's the same thing. Like, what is the expectation that they want this coach to do? Like, is it just to be the 3rd or 4th best team in the SEC? If so, then yeah, that's a good job. You're going to pay me $78 million to do not mediocre, but like just be like a top 4, top 5 teams in your conference. Like, okay.
No, you was right, Mike. You mediocre.
No, Mike, I agree with you. Mike, say it with your chest.
Top 5.
I agree with you, Tasha. Mike, you said it right. Mediocre. And
the whole
Drew
time
Thomas, I love you, Drew Merriman, but that was mediocre stuff that was coming out of.
When have they been in the top 5 of the SEC since he's been there?
Yeah, it was. I would say it's a piss poor job by the Aggies organization to sign him to an extension when he hadn't even done anything. That was a mistake. And I know y'all are gonna say like they have money to throw at, like, but like make an educated like move right there. That was a bad move.
No, let me tell you why they got him in there, Mike. They got him in there because he won that championship at Florida State. But did they not realize Florida State was ready to kick him out with the bathtub water?
That's true.
And so they took him because they was like, oh, he won. What's going on with Florida State? Oh, it's just Florida State. So yeah, we can get him here and he can win. So that's A&M's fault.
You know what? But to Mike's point, that goes to show like why in the world are you paying him structuring a contract to where even if he has offset language where another school picks him up, they're still on the hook for the $76 million. So if he goes to another Power 5 school and they pay him $50 million, he's still going to get that $76 million. It's not even in the offset language, which is unheard of in this day and time for a coach like that has one national title.
That's why he's looking like that.
Eligible, Mike, go ahead.
I said that's why he's looking like that in the picture. Like he's like, okay.
He's like,
He's looking at his wife like,
I'm retired early now.
Baby, listen,
y'all
forget that bubble wrap in the garage.
That check clearing every year to 2030 something.
Oh, so he's Bobby Bonilla.
Right. Happy Mets Day.
We're going to be saying Happy Jimbo Day every November. Like, oh, this guy's still clearing checks. Now, so let's go here then, Mike. You said now earlier in the season, before he even got fired, I'm going to give you your flowers and say that you said that Jimbo Fisher epitomizes what's wrong in today's college football because they're going with these old retread coaches who refuse to modernize their way of thinking, who are having a hard time connecting with today's Gen Z athlete. With that being said, and you were right about that, where do they go next? Do they go with another Power 5 school coach because they can money whip them? Or do you try to go with a young, upcoming coordinator somewhere?
Man, this was a good question. I know there's talks even about Dion, and we all know Dion looked kind of sad yesterday getting trumped.
No, Dion had aged 50 years in this.
Yeah,
in
he
last
did
2
too.
months.
He did too. I don't think UTSA, just because UTSA really struggled this year when they had a lot of hopes this year.
But his
I'm
name
gonna go
has
with
been out there, though. His name has been hot out there.
That is true. I'm gonna go with like an ex-NFL coordinator or a current NFL coordinator. You could even go for like a Georgia or Alabama coordinator. I know there was even talks about a Ryan Day. I don't. That's
I didn't hear any of that. They were saying
Ryan Day. I saw a report yesterday. Now it was from a Michigan account, a verified Michigan account that said that Ryan Day's people are open to that in the event that he gets ran out of town in Ohio. And you know, if they lose to Michigan next week with no Harbaugh,
he's out.
He's getting ran out of town.
You know why? Because he knows he's gonna get money. He know he can't win. He knows he's going to get money. Yeah. But they were talking about the coach at Duke.
He should be a hot candidate.
What's his name? Delco, and they were saying something about the coach at Kansas. Possibly.
Now, David says there's no excuse for mediocrity, even in a tough conference now with the transfer portal. The type of caliber athletes they're getting, they have a top 5 recruiting class every year. It's got to be coaching.
And
so
because
go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, no, I was saying I agree with Damien's comment. Like, because the transfer portal is a thing, you have to make sure that your coach or at least your recruiters are the best in the game, and you have to be able to do, talk to the crowd that you're trying to get.
But this is what I told Drew. Shouts out to our brother Drew Merriman. Drew said the same thing. Oh, they got this. I said, but you can have 18 5-stars starting. If they can't play when it comes time to play, what's the point of giving a star ranking?
And are any of them any dogs? Because you need dogs to win in November and December. Anybody can win in September if you got 5-star athletes playing Cali Tech or Polyview Light or whatever. We'll see. But the no offset language was brilliant. And I didn't think that Jimbo had the type of cachet with just one title to command that type. Now, if you Dabo Luther the King, or if you Saban, or if you're one of those coaches, I can get it. But or Lincoln Riley, maybe one of those type of coaches. But no, not old man Jimbo.
Not Lincoln Riley.
Because he know all the bodies are buried.
But speaking of Saban, going back to what Mike was saying about these older coaches, look what has happened in Alabama now that he started coaching to their quarterback strength. He's looking.
Yeah, he's a little bit more hands off now.
Yeah.
Right. Right, and to Michigan's point, to circle them back into that, you want to the one of the best characteristics of a good CEO is that when he leaves and go on a 2-week vacation, the company don't crumble. So and that's a testament to having great assistant coaches and putting a great staff together.
That's
It's
any
all
leadership.
in matchups. Talent on top of talent doesn't matter at that level. Because Mike's point, everybody's got talent, and we just said that at the same time, Langston. Yeah, everybody has talent. Now, Mike, let me ask you this. Coach Dan Campbell was one of the hot names that came up because he's a former Aggie and he's your coach of the year so far in the NFL. Now, I just read this morning where he said he's not interested, but we hear that all the time. Especially
hell no, he's not interested. Why would he go down?
Right, they're in the middle of a playoff push. But if you Dan Campbell, Mike, and I'm gonna ask you too, Tasha, do you take the money and go back to
No,
college?
man. You see him on the sideline.
Good money.
Oil money is good money.
Only people say that is rich people.
Man, that's true. I will say though, Dan Campbell is very competitive and he's very passionate. When you have that trumps the money part. He is so happy to be there on the NFL sideline, coaching with the coaches that he has and having so much of the control. I'm not saying he wouldn't have control in the Aggies. It's just different. NFL and college. It's a job, right? These players that you're playing for you're like, look, this is your career. If you don't listen to me, then you're going to be on the couch. You say that to a college kid, they'll be like, okay, I'm going to go to USC then. Right. It's just different.
Now, Stephanie says the leader is only as good as his team, and I totally agree with that. It's almost like the teacher analogy. If one kid make an F in your class, okay. But if the whole class is failing, that's on you, teacher. There's something that you're doing that's not getting
No. As an educator,
she said,
and I will speak for our favorite educator, Stiana Holder, who don't play. Do you guys know our beloved Stiana Holder had a whole Facebook page dedicated to her because the parents hated her because Stiana was failing the kids. So you can't always say it's the teacher because we all know.
Well, that's your best friend. I'm saying if I'm the principal and everybody in your class is failing, we need to have a discussion about that.
Right, and that's the case. So you can't necessarily say that that's always the point. But
I'm just saying if every kid is failing your class, there's a disconnect somewhere.
But and it is. But in Stiana's case, it's because Stiana don't bend, don't break. I'm telling you.
Stiana's here. She says, "Speak, Tasha."
You don't. Stiana don't bend, don't break. So Stiana don't say you're gonna get this, and I'm gonna help you if you don't. But if you don't make the effort to come and do better, then what am I here for?
Right. But at the end of the day, if the team isn't winning, if the whole class is failing, then we need to take a look at what's going on. That's just business. That's not personal. People got stuff on that would be called a Title I school. Okay. Then she says the standard. Okay, Mike Tomlin. She said the standard is the standard. Now, don't be sharing this, Stiana. You got other teachers on your page now. Don't share it. Tell them to watch the Extra Point this morning and learn them a little something. Stephanie said, but if everybody failed the test, right, then the test has to be reviewed for retake. That's just all I'm saying. If the kids are failing every other class, then we may have to see. Maybe it's a we got
to take a look, is what you're saying. We got to take.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's worth us sitting down and seeing what's going on.
So you said is this the case?
Level 5, baby. Don't play with her.
Stiana has been a level 5 teacher for the last at least 7 years. I know that much. So basically, what you're saying, Paul, we dealing with a bunch of Evelyns.
Right, Evelyn. They said Justin said they just need to cheat better. See, that's what we do.
That's what we do.
We're going to get that W. We're going to get that W. And if you think you bad, come and take it on the back end. But we're going to hang that banner, damn it. Because if you ain't
want some, get some. Bad enough, take some. Yeah.
She said, what the hell y'all doing at home? Ooh, you put it on the mama and the papa, huh? Now, see, now we going to get Educator of the year. Well, as long as it's not all her classes failing, then Steve's going to be our outlier. Because y'all know we go back like cook food, back to the trombone days. I'm going to always ride for Steve, and I'm going to always take her side in any argument unless she's talking about them Cowboys. Then we got to do that. She says, hold up. They do cheat. They just want an A, and that can't happen.
Tell them, Steve, I'm here for it.
Look, I made all A's and B's, so we're gonna digress. Didn't I,
Same
Mama?
here.
Right, didn't I, Mama? And Tasha, you was in the honors program. You was. Oh, okay. We'll zip that. Well, let's go on to somebody.
Them math grades wasn't mathing.
You should have slept with Coach Sargent. I heard he got.
Coach Sargent. He taught history.
I wasn't gonna say Coach Smith because he tell you to get your Lee's 2-piece biscuit and get out of here. Yeah, she's an outlier. That's what's up. But the thing is, though, she's always been an outlier. She has really gone outside of the box in every traditional way. Her path to get to teaching was different than everybody else's. Her path through all of that stuff that she overcame. You know I'm a ride for you, Steve, because I know your story and your glory. That's what's up. Honor graduate here, Langston, talking about a student athlete. Mike preaches education. Riri gonna be valedictorian, you know what I'm saying? And yes, that's my nickname for her is Riri. Because when we have affection for you, we double up your name. You know, JoJo, Riri, Nook. That's what we do. That's a sign of affection in the hood. Y'all see what y'all doing here? Y'all trick love the kids. God is faithful. Don't make me start shouting, Steve. We're going to have to get into Caleb Williams, y'all, because now we're going to have choice. Steve said,
you get an F. You get an F.
You were the whole class with
you get an F.
Mike. Hey, I didn't struggle. I don't
know. Ooh, Mike. Hey, I've had some off-wax conversations with Mike, who is a manager, about his management style, and I think that he agrees with Steve. If you get an F, you got an F. Don't be coming in here begging for no grade. We need a 30 for 30 on Steve. We really do. We really do. And we will have one when she becomes the next Dawn Staley. You heard me call it correctly. Now, let's speaking of student athlete, one of the most popular and polarizing student athletes in all of college football is one Caleb Williams. Producer, you sure are doing your thing with these photo ops because he looks like he's got a big decision to make, like the weight of the world is weighing on his mind. And it should be, because there's no Heisman for him this year. He can forget that. There's no college football playoff for him. He can forget that. Hell, USC's not even eligible for the Pac-12 championship. He can forget that. With that being the backdrop, Tasha, I'm coming to you first. Should Caleb Williams finish off this season, or should he just get ready for the draft?
Look, this is a question that has been going on ever since, these injuries have been coming up. You've had players sitting out. And with the NIL, it makes everything different. If he wants, and now the 49er, Chase Young, he said on a show that he was just playing because he enjoyed the game. It wasn't NIL money when he was at FIU. He said it's for the glory of the game. If Caleb wants to play because he wants to play, because he loves the game, then he'll play. But if it's about him moving to the next step, he's accomplished everything he could. And it's different from, I'll say, female athletes and male athletes. The money that they can make is way higher than what a woman can make. Unless, we just got to put that out there. Angel Reese is making more money than she would ever make in the WNBA. And that goes true with a lot of them. I think he needs to just go on. He's done everything he could. He won the awards. He's got his NIL deals, and some of those deals can translate when he gets to the NFL. Some of those people will still hang on him, and he'll get more money for those endorsements.
Right.
So, yeah, I think he just needs to go on.
Now, AP Culture and Mr. Glenn agrees with you. Mike, do you agree?
Absolutely, yeah. I think you definitely don't want to have cobwebs, though. I would even talk about playing for a quarter or a first half or something like that. But does he need to? No, he doesn't need to. And if you want to take out the numbers and stuff like that, he's making about $3 million if you want to round up, and NIL deals. He could make about $40 million in the NFL coming out first round, with most of that guaranteed. So just wait out. I mean, you got 3 games max left. So just just stay on the bench.
And then you think about the petty people that are going to be gunning for him if he is there. It's going to be somebody that's going to want to take a cheap shot. It is what it is. And you would hate for him to be injured and then go from being the number one prospect at quarterback to being a third rounder.
Langston said he's going to be a backup. Name the last USC quarterback that panned out. Now, Langston, you just walked me into what I was about to say. And it's not just your opinion. It is. Let's change this to our opinion, because when I sat and thought about it, I kind of did a pros and cons analysis on his career. And let's look at it. I'm looking at it from this prism. You're a 20-year-old man. You're worth about $3.1 million. You've got national endorsements. Once you win the Heisman, like to Tasha's point, that follows you for the rest of your life. Barry Sanders won the Heisman in '88. He's still eating off that damn Heisman on the Nissan Heisman House commercials. So that money's guaranteed. By the way, you're living in Southern California. You the star quarterback of one of the most recognizable football brands in the world. You want to give all that up to go and play in Chicago and get your head beat in with a 4-12 season next year, or go play in Arizona and get your leg broke like Richardson?
But
I think if you're making $3 million to just be a kid and have fun and have the ladies and have the college life and be the big man on campus, I say do it one more year and see what shakes out of next year's draft. I don't want to play for the Chicago Bears. I love you, D. I can't wait to see you next week. But I ain't trying to be in those Chicago playing for no damn Bears when I could be in Southern California getting my feet rubbed by some USC cheerleaders. You know what I'm saying? Like me, if I'm Caleb, I'm like, nah, I'm gonna sit this thing out. We're gonna do this one more again. We're gonna go to the Big Ten. I'm gonna have some more top profile games. Maybe have a shot to be a 2-time Heisman. If I was Caleb, I would hang around and enjoy college life one more year, because it changes fast when you get to the NFL. Look at these rookies.
No, but let me like I said, let me take it back. Langston is saying what USC quarterback? Technically, he wasn't a USC quarterback.
Oh, you.
Well, what do you mean technically? He won the Heisman at USC.
But where did he start?
What's the correlation?
My thing is he was recruited by Oklahoma, which meant he had the better talent or a different skill set, a way of thinking, because he was going to be playing at OU versus SC.
Right, but that goes to my point. If you move from Norman, Oklahoma to Southern California,
but no,
now it's legal for you to get paid. We don't even know about the local deal that he has in Los Angeles. I'm just saying that's not a bad gig to want to sit around for one more year.
No, I'm speaking to his skill set. And come on, we ain't gonna even go there. You talking about SC? Do you know how many women gonna be falling out the closet when he pro? Man, what?
You saw what happened to Tom Marinovich out there. He got a hold of that yak, and them sisters that ran him down through there. So maybe to that point, don't watch that 30 for 30 on Tom Marinovich, because then I may be like, no, you need to go pro.
But like the Southern California, point, you saying what USC quarterback? Most of those quarterbacks were basically groomed for that USC, that Pac-12 style. That wasn't his original grooming.
Now, Melody brings up a good point. She said, but wouldn't he always go to a low-level team no matter when he comes out due to the rank in the draft? Mm-hmm. Yes, but there's a difference in the worst team in the league being in Chicago or being somewhere else next year. Or you can look at a situation where Chicago wound up with where Carolina traded up to get the number 1 pick this year, and they weren't necessarily the worst team in the league. So there are ways that he can manipulate that. But to your point, Melanie, yes, it's a crapshoot. He could wind up in a worse position next year.
But the Bears can get 1 and 2, right? Isn't there a chance that the Bears can get 1 and 2?
There is, if they continue to lose. But
and then they're going to take Marvin Harrison Jr. Then they're going to work on it.
That could be a scenario, but I ain't trying to play for the Bears. The Bears ain't been no count since the Super Bowl shuffle.
But they call me Sweetness because I like to dance.
I knew she knew the lyrics, y'all. I knew. No. That was a great question. And that is a roll of the dice, because your ass could wind up with the Titans. You know what? Let me move
it's
on.
all a gamble.
Let me move on. He He need to talk to
Yeah.
Archie, man, and don't be
Yeah,
surprised.
what was
y'all,
Eli's face
if the
like this?
Williams do that.
Y'all keep talking about Archie. Let's not forget Elway did the same thing. Elway said, "I'm gonna go back to school if y'all draft
He
me.
said, I'm gonna go play baseball.
If y'all draft me."
Yeah.
He said, right, chop up that paper, chop up that paper. All right. So, hey, some good conversations going this morning. Y'all got my juices ready for some football today. Now, the NFL takes a backseat to no one. And trust me when I say they will take no backseat on Monday night when we have the Super Bowl rematch of the overtime thriller that went down in February. Mom, I know it's February. I'm just tripping. Between the Eagles and the Chiefs. That Chiefs gear you got on, is it, Mike? Look at Mike cracking his knuckles. He's ready for this segment. Look at Mike. Now we got a Chief in the comments, Mr. Justin Hodges. We got an Eagle here on the set. Let's do battle. Tosh, let me start with you on this one. Are these still the best two teams in the NFL?
I would say Philly, just because of I like how they look. Of course, we all know Kansas City just comes out of the woodworks at the end of the season and come playoff time and just dominate.
They do.
I'm just not liking everything that Kansas City is doing right now.
Oh, Mama just said no. It's not. Mike, are these the best two teams in the NFL right now?
No, I don't think so. I think on the Eagles side, there's still a lot of injuries, and I know they're starting to come back. They just don't look Super Bowl ready, which I'm glad. I mean, it's halfway through the season, so they still have some work to do. From the NFC, they are one of the top teams, I would say. For the Chiefs, I would totally agree with Tasha. They haven't started yet. And I think they're very mediocre right now, but like they only have 2 losses, so like that's pretty good. I mean, they're going to continue this streak.
And one of them was out Kelsey and Chris Jones in the week 1.
So I mean, halfway through, they don't have to start yet. I mean, they don't have to start until probably Buffalo, and then be like, okay, let's get playoff ready. So no, I don't think the Chiefs are ready yet.
Buffalo made a deal with the devil. Y'all ain't never gonna win no Super Bowl, okay?
Buffalo ain't paid their dues to the Illuminati, so the Illuminati done.
It's because they keep throwing their fans through the tables. That's why.
Right? You said the Illuminati. Now Justin said, "Hold up," and the other one, Pat had the flu. Now that's what C.J. Stroud pulled on us last year, talking about he had the flu up there in Columbus when we flew that ass home. But he had the flu. And to both of you all's point, Kansas City is that boa constrictor type team that we talk about with Michigan. They'll just kind of just get through the regular season, but when it gets to the playoffs, the defense step up. That kicker don't miss in the snow. Mahomes start throwing behind the back and behind the neck and all that old stuff. He be scrambling. He turns
with
into
a busted ankle.
Right. You notice he never scrambles in the regular season, but in the playoffs, he'll get you. He is magnificent. I do think. What's going on? David Hernandez said, "What's going on? YF Dizzy in the house?" He said, "PL balling out." No, that's you, man. That's you. Make sure y'all
this Chiefs team
show coming up.
This Chiefs team seems like a team that would beat Eagles, right? And then come back and then lose against Vegas or Green Bay, just to be like, oh, we didn't really feel like playing that week.
Right, because at the end of the day, they only care about January football. That's when they do their thing. Now, let's bring Mr. Glenn back into the phrase. He said the Chiefs' defense is the strength of that team this year. That's what scares me about Kansas City. They're winning, scoring 17 points, 20 points. You know, it's not just the Patrick Mahomes show or the Taylor Swift show now. Oh, God, I don't know what's been more nauseating. The damn Michigan scandal of Taylor Swift. I need all of y'all to go jump in the Cumberland River. I don't want y'all to die. You can swim the shore, but just jump in that mud. All right, Tasha, now we about to bet on black. We know you like to bet on black. Which black are you betting on? And don't start that percentage stuff.
No, I'm betting on the real black.
Don't do that. No, there ain't no such thing as real. Don't do that.
I always bet on black, and I'm going with Jalen Hurts.
So you saying Hurts? You taking Hurts over Mahomes on Monday night? Mike,
Man, that's tough. I have the Eagles losing 2
No,
away
not
games to the
picking his team. Oh, okay.
I'm a go. I think the Chiefs are gonna win this one.
That'll never come out of my mouth. 49ers versus everybody.
So I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. They're coming off of a bye. I think they're gonna play the Eagles really well. It's really hard to play in the
Eagles are
Chiefs
coming off a
Stadium
bye.
at night. So I'm gonna go with that.
Okay, now you got Mama laughing. Now he said T gonna learn today. Now I'm gonna just go ahead and just out you real quick, Justin. He let me know this morning before the show. He said y'all gonna make the wrong pick again because he's keeping record of every time we pick against his Chiefs.
I picked the Chiefs
So
last
guess
time.
what?
So
Mike, don't be sensitive, Mike. I'm talking to Tasha. You know he knows who picked him. Now we got we split in the Oom squad. Langston said he's going with Mahomes, my homies. Stephanie's going with Jalen. And Mr. Glenn says Tasha Mahomes is black too, just like I'll be sure. Thank you.
I always bet on black, and I said Jalen Hurts.
Just a drip. That's why Langston, me and you are saying the same thing at the same time. Just a drip. All you need is a drip drop. Stiana says she's going with Jalen as well. Y'all don't sleep on Patrick. I think the Chiefs get it done at home. Is Taylor Swift going to be there?
I mean, ain't nobody sleeping on Patrick. Now we're not gonna ever sleep on one Patrick. What's his middle name? Marcel, Levon. What is his middle name?
His middle name is Marcel. He more than 1%.
It is. It's something like that.
His name I will be Kyrie.
Levon.
Okay.
Levon. See? Yeah.
His middle name is what?
Levon.
Yeah, Patrick Levon Mahomes II.
Right. True that. And yeah, that's right. They say he's Lucius Lyons. So yeah, that's right. That's right. Come on home, Patrick. We claim you too.
No,
I
look at the significant other. So
yeah, that's what I knew what she was picking. I knew what she was doing.
I said Jalen Hurts. I said what I said.
Say it. No, don't say it. Now, Seal is coffee without the cream or black.
You're not gonna bring up Kiss from a Rose. You're not gonna do it. You're not gonna
make it a point. The man is bacon black, and just because he got a white don't make him any less. I almost said a bad word. Mahomes better go with another insurance commercial. Okay. Philly for the W. Mama said period. Okay, we'll move on. Ooh, he know his daddy black. Come on now. All right. Look, can't we all just get along? This ain't candy, man. They ain't finna cut off his arm and give him a hook and send bees after him. All right. Right, Melanie, get on your girl. Didn't we just have this conversation? Right. Let's hold each other accountable today. I'm with you, Mike. I got Chiefs 24, Eagles 17 on a last-minute drive from Mahomes to Taylor Swift.
I think it'll be closer.
She's
I think it'll be like 24-21 Chiefs, I think.
What is going on today? Let him make another commercial. Also win a third MVP. Cough. Justin is with this today. He with the is today. He said, "What's up? Y'all been talking crazy about my team picking against my team, and we do miss you wearing that Mahomes wig to work, y'all. If you've seen this dude, first of all, he looks like Travis Kelce, like body weight, body build, and face. He looks like Kelce, but he wears a Mahomes wig to work on game days. It's hilarious.
You putting Cantu in it, or what you using? Selsun Blue? You ain't putting no oil in there, cause he don't put no oil in there.
Tasha,
yeah, that's what I'm talking about, baby. Excellence, right there, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, moving on in a hurry. Daniel's keeping it back on the field. He says Andy doesn't lose after a bye. Now, see, that's research. That's research from a researcher.
Andy's son still ain't in prison for making that little girl a vegetable.
Ooh, Langston, nope.
Stop it. You a vegetable. You're a vegetable.
That ain't been catching this season, though, Langston.
Langston, it's almost as if you are literally in my brain today. Y'all sit tight. I'm going to follow up on what Langston just posted right here. in just a minute. Yes, the oil sheen is popping. Yeah, right.
What?
Justin is on one.
Paul,
Today,
you
mama.
picking Panthers upset alert?
See, now we getting all in the weeds with this. Ain't nobody beauty don't have nothing to do with the beast. I want to see the beast. Nobody give a damn about no beauty on a football field. Unless it's one of those perfect spots from one late great Steve McNair. That was a beauty. That was a beauty to behold. He would just drop that ball into your hand. I digress. Mama, I'm glad you enjoying the show today. She's now hollering this morning. Ryan, get on her, Langston. What is she doing today? Mike.
What's up?
Let's pull up these. Let's see what we have with these picks. Oh, wait a minute. Looks like we about to have a photo finish between one T Sizzle and one.
Are you playing?
Huh?
Are you playing?
Is who playing? I'm at 54% against the spread.
Are you even playing?
Yeah. Y'all got a 5-game lead on me. We picking 5 games today. I'm going against all of y'all picks, and I'm gonna win this.
That is true. Anything.
Then you pick first. Then how about that?
No, because y'all ain't finna be trying to pick the same as me to keep me in the back of the bus. We're not doing no Selma
against
today.
You. I'm trying to pick
Selma today.
Right, because why we gonna copy you?
Like, what? I'm gonna pick the opposite. Hey, I'm gonna pick like this. I don't even got to see it. Just whatever Paul
Mike,
said.
You've been on the heater lately. We get it, Mike. We get it. Now, AP Coach said she needed to show this one, and that's what we're here for, and so glad to see that. Yes, Stephanie, they trying to put me down there in Montgomery, Alabama. Don't make me throw this hat in the air because I'm falling behind. But I pick with my heart. I got to start picking with my head. I pick with my heart. I be trusting these bum-clot fantasy football players on my fledgling team, and they let me down every week. Stephanie, don't do it. She talking about we shall overcome. Oh, no, not the chair.
We don't want anybody else to end up looking like Lady Elaine.
Mama said we don't do back of the bus no more. March on, brother. I'm on march. I'm gonna march like Cisco in What They Want video. You remember that? See, this is where Mike normally would do his bark and growl, the DMX bark, but no.
I did just do that.
I was like, hey, can we get one more bark after Mike?
Oh, you know.
There we go for the late great. Great week over. All right. So we got Mike in the lead at 33 wins. Now, y'all, let me give these two their flowers real quick. Do you know how hard it is to hit a 66% clip on the doing the spread? The man can build out there in Vegas. Tasha don't watch half the games, and she is 64%. Like,
y'all, I watch my games. I watch my games on the app, and I read.
I stand. He said, "We in the back of the Uber now." Y'all can get in the back of my Uber because I don't drink no more, and I'll give you a nice sober ride to the establishment of your choice for a nice little fee plus tip. Holler at me on the weekends if you're in the Plano Carrollton area. Tasha done took Mike to the Q Park. Right. That was a really good bark there, Mike, they said. Speaking of brothers and betting on black, they said you sounded very cute doggish. Right. Y'all, they cutting up. All right. So today's games where I come and make my how do we want to do this, y'all? Should Mike go first because he's in the lead? Should Tasha go first because she's a female on the set? Ladies first. Tasha, what you want to do?
Ladies first, you know.
I don't care. I got Washington. I'm gonna take.
Okay, we're doing one by one. Okay, let's go here. Let's start Washington versus Oregon State. Y'all, Oregon State is a 1-point home favorite.
Yeah,
that scares me a little bit.
Crazy.
Because
it's hard to play in Oregon State. That's why.
And they were saying how people don't really realize how much of a battle that is too. They think it's the Apple Bowl or whatever it is, the Apple State. Washington State, but that this is also a big rivalry. But I'm pulling for Penix Jr., so I picked against him 1 week, and it came to bite me, and I told y'all.
Penix has been giving me life. I've got a lot of my wins off Penix. I'm gonna keep rolling with Penix. I got Washington in the point.
Yep. Let's go. Next one.
See, Mike, see
Washington.
what Mike's doing. He's being strategic. No, Mike, you going first the rest of this segment. Mike, Jets versus Bills. The Bills are a 7-point home favorite. Who you got?
Crickets. Man, this one was hard. I even told you this at the bowling. I was like, why you got to put a 7-point one on there?
Because Buffalo been playing like Hansel and Gretel. That's why.
Right. 7 points is a lot, which means they haven't played out in a while, which means that everyone has them winning by 10. I'll go with Jets plus 7.
There is a lot of points. That's why I wanted to put it on there, Mike, because what the hell Buffalo team are we going to see on Sunday? Tasha, they're so Jekyll and Hyde.
No, I'm going for the Bills because there's been a whole lot of chatter going back and forth. You see Trayvon speaking and saying what Stephon really wanted to say, then Stephon want to act like, I don't know what he said. I don't know what it meant. Then you out here firing the OC. And remember back in the day, they was like, if anybody lose a job, it's going to be because, what's the quarterback?
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen going to get the OC fired. Really, Josh Allen didn't get the OC fired, technically. It's a lot of other things.
He did.
But
they got that man fired.
Well, whose fault was it that they had 12 men on the field with that?
No, you know what? I'm sorry. I'll take that back. The OC was the scapegoat. Because the coach must have wanted him gone anyway. They top 5 offense.
So, they got a lot to prove. So I'm gonna go with the Bills.
I'm gonna take the Bills too, simply because Josh Allen knows that his erratic play and his gunslinger mentality. You ever notice that when it's Josh Allen or Justin Herbert, it's gunslinger, but if it's somebody else, they can't read defenses. Let me keep going.
But Josh when I bring that up, y'all want to silence me. I ain't saying nothing.
No. Josh Allen, I'm gonna say, can't read defenses, and he be throwing the ball into the middle of crowds. Even with that said, I'm gonna take Buffalo because, like you said, all of the chatter, all of the embarrassment from that way they lost, I think they're gonna take it out on.
But did Trayvon lie though?
Trayvon didn't lie, and all 3 of us have brothers. We would do that for our brothers well if we know that they're in a trash situation. I know I would tweet on my brother's behalf, like, get my brother the hell up out of there.
Because when he said Buffalo didn't start winning until Stephon got there,
that's true.
That's the big truth.
Josh Allen was basically mayonnaise man before Stephon got there. Then he looked more like mayonnaise man, Will Levis, than he did MVP candidate until they got. But then again, in all fairness, Hurts wasn't an MVP candidate until he got AJ Brown. So I'm not gonna just knock him totally for that. Mike, we come to you next. A battle of 2 surprising teams. Minnesota and Denver on Monday night. Both teams on winning streaks right now. Denver is a 2.5-point home favorite. They got a 3-game winning streak with 2 of those wins coming against Buffalo and the Chiefs. Can they keep it going against Lil Bill?
I'm gonna go with the Vikings on this one.
Ooh, you gonna keep riding with Joshua Dobbs? That kid is phenomenal. That kid,
someone posted this thing. They're like, "Hey, everyone, remember that Dobbs was actually on Cleveland Browns coach or the quarterback, during the preseason." I was like, "They done messed up."
They did.
Did y'all know that Cleveland had 3 black quarterbacks, and here we are talking about Baltimore with the 3 black quarterbacks, and here you go, Cleveland got the same scenario.
Well, one of them better get to winning, and one of them is got the worst contract in the history of American sports. So, brother, I'm gonna need you to come back next year and put some dubs up because y'all just wasted the championship defense this year. AP says Minnesota for the win. I'm gonna ride out. I'm going with Minnesota because Dobbs is doing something special right now, and you can't trust Russell too many weeks in a row. But as soon as you try to trust Russell, I'm with you, Mom. Mama, did you just talk me into an L? See, this is why I be losing. I'm too flammery. What, Tasha? Who you got?
Nah, she saved you.
Yeah, I'm going hashtag Skull too.
I gotta go with Denver then. I need a game, y'all. See, when you start chasing points is when you really get behind. No, I'm going with Minnesota, like I said at first.
Okay.
Philly at KC. Let's just recap. I got KC. In the 2.5 points. Mike got KC. Tasha, you have Philly. Oh, that's gonna be the game that ties y'all watch. That's Monday night. I'm gonna be tuned in for the Tasha versus Mike Bowl because it goes down on Monday night. All right, and last but not least, the Chargers at the Packers. The Packers are a 3-point home underdog. Mike, who you taking?
I got the Chargers.
See, I had to think about this.
I do too.
Because this is a game the Packers can most definitely win and need to win. Because
especially at home.
Yeah, because I think Jordan Love is just getting down. He's almost like, I'm about to call it a season mode.
Yeah.
And Packers defense is good.
Yeah, but I don't.
Mama, you got to pick one. She said neither.
Right.
They tie. They could tie.
I don't trust the Chargers. That's the whole thing. I don't trust the Chargers.
The Chargers are the people that you got to take your purse in your bedroom in when you go to bed. Because you just don't trust them. You can't trust them. You better take your wallet and put it in your pajamas when you go to bed and they spending the night at your house.
Can't trust them.
They give you every reason all night long to trust them. But as soon as you go to bed, you better keep one eye open because these are the games.
He said lock the door. He said lock the door.
Right. These are the games they routinely lose. They eat people's lunch out the break room at work. Like you can't trust them. They don't have any reason on God's green earth to have a losing record right now, but they do. And they burned me last week against Detroit. Damn it, I'm taking Green Bay. Right, can't trust them. I'm going with the Packers. I'm going with Jordan Love. Dadgummit, here we go. Now, Mike, did you take Washington or Oregon State? I just want to get that on record again.
Washington.
Okay, all right. So we good on the college picks. All right, moving on.
Wait, who did Tasha pick?
The Packers of Green Bay.
All right, cool.
All right. I'm just. No, don't pull my mic. I need the Chargers. They not serious. And we also have a promo popping in here. Shouts out to Clara checking in. She says Abilene Christian versus Texas A&M in the Jimbo game. Is this the farewell game? Who coaching the Aggies this week?
Wait, who coaching today?
Yeah,
Shador. Who's coaching them this week? Hell, he ain't playing. They done knocked him into.
That would be a good pick. That would be a good pick for them.
Shador. All right. Now, upset alert. I'm gonna kick this thing off because Langston actually said it earlier in the broadcast, and he kind of jumped the gun a little bit on me as I go back and look for it. But he says my upset alert is more of a warning than a prediction. He says Panthers over Cowboys because Dak be Dakin. My upset alert is for the Dallas Cowboys, and here's why. Dallas, to start the season, y'all pulled that mess when you blew out the Giants and then you blew out the Jets, and then you went out there to lowly Arizona and laid an egg. Now, we all know since that close game against Philadelphia, you've blown out your last two opponents. You're looking unstoppable again. Now you got another lowly NFC team laying in wait at home. Don't go out there to Carolina playing around and mess up and lose this game. Cowboys, this is the game that y'all be losing to break our hearts. This is what the Cowboys do. So I got y'all on upset alert this week. I pray that I'm wrong, but y'all be doing this to us. And Langston, who is the biggest Cowboy fan of all time, he even said it, Dak be Dakin. That's mine.
Y'all good. Y'all good.
Who should be on upset alert?
I was going to take Miami over Louisville, but Miami.
Me too. That was my other one.
Miami don't be coaching right when it count. I'm gonna keep mine in college, and I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I'm gonna say Clemson upsets Carolina.
Oh, Damien, you get a hold of that one. No Carolina blue for you today, bruh.
Well, I mean, I could have took Kansas over Kansas State.
That's another good one. Kansas has already knocked off Oklahoma.
Come back to me. Go to Mike. Then let me.
Because Mike got his ready. Look at him with that Cheshire cat grin. Who you got, Mike?
No, I'm gonna go with the 49ers on upset alert. I I don't think they'll win. The Bucks won't win, but they got the 49ers favored by 12 points. I don't know about that.
You think they drank the Kool-Aid from the Jacksonville game last week?
Yeah.
Vegas is drinking the Kool-Aid because of that blowout. You think so?
Yep.
Yeah.
They made that Kool-Aid out of the St. James River down there. Shake it up and just stir, put your little sugar in it, swig it around.
Right. Kansas ain't playing around either, so Kansas State, be on your P's and Q's.
Yeah,
Tasha,
I think I'm gonna do Kansas over Kansas State today.
Okay, but fair enough. Dallas, don't have me come on here next week talking about I told y'all so. Don't do that. The Eagles already have a game up on you because they beat y'all's butt 2 weeks ago. Don't go out there to Carolina and embarrass me. So I got to go back in the chat on Monday to all them damn memes about Jerry Jones and all of them. These two are treacherous when the Cowboys lose. Fix it, Jesus. Fix it, Lord. All right. He says Bears beat Lions with Justin Fields coming back. Elizabeth?
I don't know about that. I got the Lions actually as one of my picks or my locks of the week. So I got Lions minus 7.5.
And speaking of which, it is time for Michigan Mike's lock of the week. Yeah. Mike, who you locking down today?
I got Lions minus 7.5, and then I got Georgia minus 10.5. Those are my two locks.
Why you got to bring UT into this, Mike? You be trolling. We already had a rough week last week against Missouri.
I cannot believe that. JoJo actually had decent numbers. It wasn't his fault they lost that game. How did they not score? How?
How did they turn that kid into Walter Payton is what I want to know. They had that kid out there looking like Scary Sanders. That was awful. Y'all,
keep fighting, running for more yards. Say it, Sweetness.
Hey, Mike was undefeated on his locks last week. If you took his picks, then you made some nice, cool Christmas money.
Yeah,
the man is trying to
$1,000 right there.
He had 5 out of layaway. So listen to the man. Take Detroit with the points and take Georgia with a beat down over old Rocket Top today and go ahead and put that 10-speed on layaway. That's how we doing. You ain't got but a couple of more checks until Christmas. So Mike is trying to help you flip that. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do here. We're here to help you. Now, Tasha, who are you shouting out today?
I'm shouting out those brothers of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. They celebrated their Founders Day. And one of my you know how like you meet somebody, you just kind of bond with them. And it's just like, man, where you been my whole life? My brother Lish, who is Sasha's uncle Lish, is a Q. My friend Jackie, her husband.
Do they live on Lishy?
No. He's from Memphis.
That's Lishy.
My friend Jackie, who is a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, her husband Andre, and my candle man, a guy went to college with Sasha, John Hargis. Shouts out to him.
Is he son-in-law material?
Huh?
Is he son-in-law material?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, he got a job. I mean, that's a major hurdle.
And his candle's a bomb, y'all. This right here.
I'm saying the man is employed.
But so shouts out to those three in particular, and all other Qs or members of Omega Psi Phi RQQ bros. Roo.
I want to give a shout out to my Aunt Boo who's celebrating her birthday today. I want to give a shout out to the Pearl-Cone Firebirds for advancing in the high school state playoff championship.
They in the championship game, right? This is for the championship game.
Was this the championship game? I'm not sure. Langston's still on. He can let me know because I'm not sure.
Did this propel them to the championship game?
Oh, okay. All right. So we got one more to go before we hoist that
no,
trophy.
I'm asking.
No, I don't know.
Oh.
All right. As the love pours in for my Aunt Boo, her birthday. Mom says, Detroit for the win, but don't sleep on my Rocky Top, boys, Mike.
She said that last time. You're picking with your heart again. It's okay.
See, Mama talked me into the Missouri win last week.
No telephone bills.
She says, it's the semis now, and Martrice gives us clarification. She says that's correct. One more to go. I'm going to give a shout out to Stiana, to Martrice. I want to give a shout out to everyone that's going to be celebrating the holidays and is going to be traveling. Wishing y'all traveling grace as you go home to see your families. For those who's not traveling, that's hosting. I'm wishing y'all grace for having all them people in y'all house eating up all y'all food and leaving without helping cleaning up. So for all you Thanksgiving hosts out there, I want to give y'all a shout out because I know how tiring that can be to prepare, to host, then clean up all that food. Shouts out to y'all. Shouts out to all of the cooks. May the ancestors judge that season and judge right on all of the portions. Because if you ain't sneezing, it ain't
You
season.
ain't seasoned.
So if you ain't sneezing, it ain't season. So shouts out to everybody. Hopefully y'all have a great Thanksgiving. Where we go? Heart pick my eye. You'll never get that bike out of there. Mama, she don't have 2 cups of make sure.
Tell him, AP.
She said like this. Look,
Go
put it down.
Hey, man. She finishes with a happy Thanksgiving. She's with a purr. Mike, what are you shouting out today, man?
Yeah, the McKinney Lions lost last night in the playoffs in a heartbreaker. They tried to pull a Michigan and run all run plays the second half. They had a 21-6 lead and lost 21-22 with the last second field goal. So good season, good run. Shout out to that team.
Good run. Go Firebirds. And ladies and gentlemen, go Michigan, because in about 3.5 hours, it's going to officially be countdown to the game. And we're going to be on one next week. I'll be live on location from Cashville, Tennessee. We will be draped out in all of our amazing blue lore. Until then, enjoy these slated games. And Mike, what do you got to do?
Go Blue.
How you say it in Espanol?
Vamos Azul.
And we out of here. See y'all next week.
Once I had a girl on Rocky Top.
No, we're going to have a cleaning crew.
Oh, y'all got a cleaning crew? What y'all paying?
That's a good idea, though, right?